Welcome to our channel. Today, we're counting down the top 5 latest news stories in the USA that you need to know about. We're talking about the stories that are shaping our nation, the ones that are impacting your lives, and the ones that will have lasting consequences for years to come. From the halls of Congress to the streets of our cities, we're covering it all with the depth and context you deserve. Stay tuned to stay informed. The halls of Congress have been buzzing this month, folks, with lawmakers debating and voting on a number of critical bills. The atmosphere has been electric, filled with passionate speeches, intense negotiations, and the palpable sense of history in the making. Lawmakers from both sides of the aisle have been working tirelessly, often late into the night, to push forward legislation that could shape the future of our nation. The stakes are incredibly high, and the outcomes of these debates will have far-reaching implications for every American. One of the most significant developments is the passage of the Infrastructure and Jobs Act, a sweeping piece of legislation aimed at rebuilding our nation's crumbling roads and bridges. This act is not just about repairing what is broken, it is about laying the foundation for a more resilient and efficient infrastructure system. The bill includes provisions for modernizing public transit, expanding broadband access, and investing in clean energy projects. These initiatives are expected to not only improve the quality of life for millions of Americans, but also to position the United States as a leader in sustainable development. This bipartisan bill, a rarity in these divided times, promises to create millions of jobs and modernize our infrastructure for the 21st century. The collaboration between parties has been hailed as a triumph of compromise and a testament to what can be achieved when lawmakers put the country's needs above partisan politics. The job creation aspect of the bill is particularly noteworthy, as it aims to provide opportunities in both urban and rural areas, ensuring that the economic benefits are felt nationwide. From construction workers to engineers, the ripple effect of this legislation will be profound. But the debate over its implementation is just beginning. Questions remain about how effectively the funds will be managed and whether the projects will be completed on time and within budget. There is also ongoing discussion about the environmental impact of some of the proposed projects and how to balance development with sustainability. Lawmakers and experts alike are scrutinizing every detail to ensure that the promises made are kept and that the benefits of the bill are maximized. How will these funds be allocated, and will they reach the communities that need them most? This is a critical question, as the success of the Infrastructure and Jobs Act hinges on equitable distribution. Lawmakers are holding town hall meetings and engaging with local leaders to gather input and address concerns. The goal is to ensure that underserved and marginalized communities are not left behind, and that the infrastructure improvements benefit all Americans regardless of their zip code. Transparency and accountability will be key in this process, and the public will be watching closely. We'll be following this story closely. Our team of reporters will be on the ground, providing updates and insights as the implementation of the Infrastructure and Jobs Act unfolds. From the halls of Congress to the construction sites across the country, we will bring you comprehensive coverage of this landmark legislation. Stay tuned for interviews with key stakeholders, expert analysis, and real-time reporting on the progress and challenges of this ambitious initiative. Another major legislative development is the ongoing debate over voting rights. This issue has sparked intense emotions and widespread activism, as it strikes at the core of our democratic principles. Lawmakers are grappling with proposals that could either expand or restrict access to the ballot box, and the outcome of these debates will have a profound impact on the future of our elections. The discussions are not just about policy, they are about the very essence of what it means to be a democracy. Across the country, we've seen a wave of new laws that critics say are designed to suppress voter turnout, particularly among minority communities. These laws have led to protests and legal battles, with advocates arguing that they undermine the fundamental right to vote. The measures include stricter ID requirements, reduced early voting periods, and limitations on mail-in ballots. Supporters of these laws claim they are necessary to prevent fraud and ensure election integrity, but opponents see them as a direct attack on the democratic process. These laws have sparked outrage and legal challenges, with many arguing they are discriminatory and undermine the very foundation of our democracy. Courts across the nation are hearing cases that could set important precedents for how voting rights are protected or restricted. The legal battles are complex and multifaceted, involving constitutional questions and interpretations of federal and state laws. The outcomes of these cases will be closely watched, as they will shape the landscape of voting rights for years to come. The fight for voting rights is a fight for the soul of America, and we'll be bringing you in-depth coverage of this crucial issue. Our commitment is to provide balanced and thorough reporting, giving voice to all sides of the debate. We will explore the historical context, the current challenges, and the potential future of voting rights in the United States. Through interviews, investigative reports, and on-the-ground coverage, we aim to inform and engage our audience on this pivotal issue. Stay with us as we continue to follow these major legislative changes and their impact on our nation. The American economy continues to be a roller coaster ride, folks. From the bustling streets of New York City to the quiet corners of rural America, the economic landscape is ever-changing and full of surprises. The stock market has been on a tear in recent months, reaching record highs. Investors are riding a wave of optimism, buoyed by strong corporate earnings and positive economic data. The Dow Jones, Nasdaq, and S&P 500 have all seen impressive gains, reflecting a broad-based rally across various sectors. But some analysts warn that this bull market may be running out of steam. Concerns about overvaluation and potential market corrections are growing. Volatility has increased, with sharp swings in stock prices becoming more common. Investors are advised to stay cautious and diversify their portfolios to mitigate risks. Inflation remains a concern, with prices for everyday goods and services continuing to rise, putting a strain on household budgets. From groceries to gasoline, the cost of living is climbing, and many families are feeling the pinch. The Consumer Price Index has shown significant increases, prompting worries about the long-term impact on purchasing power. The Federal Reserve is closely watching these economic indicators, and many experts believe they may soon raise interest rates in an effort to curb inflation. Such a move would mark a significant shift in monetary policy, aimed at cooling down an overheating economy. However, higher interest rates could also lead to increased borrowing costs for consumers and businesses. But such a move could also slow economic growth, leaving many wondering what the future holds for the American economy. Balancing the need to control inflation with the goal of sustaining economic expansion is a delicate task. Policymakers are faced with tough decisions that will have far-reaching consequences for the financial well-being of the nation. On the jobs front, the unemployment rate has fallen to its lowest level in years, but many Americans are still struggling to make ends meet. While job creation has been robust, wage growth has not kept pace with rising living costs. The labor market recovery has been uneven, with some sectors experiencing labor shortages while others face layoffs and restructuring. The pandemic exacerbated existing inequalities, leaving many low-wage workers behind. Essential workers who kept the economy running during the crisis often face precarious employment conditions and inadequate pay. The social safety net has been stretched thin, and calls for systemic reforms are growing louder. The debate over raising the minimum wage continues to rage, with proponents arguing that it's long overdue and would lift millions out of poverty. They point to the widening income gap and the need for a living wage that reflects the true cost of living. On the other hand, opponents contend that it would hurt businesses, particularly small enterprises, and lead to job losses. Small business owners are particularly concerned about the potential impact of a higher minimum wage. Many are already grappling with the challenges of the post-pandemic recovery, including supply chain disruptions and changing consumer behaviors. The fear is that increased labor costs could force some to close their doors for good. We'll be diving deep into these economic issues, examining the data and speaking to experts to bring you the insights you need to understand the complex forces shaping our economy. Stay tuned as we explore the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead and what they mean for you and your financial future. Chapter 3. The COVID-19 pandemic continues to cast a long shadow over the nation, but there are glimmers of hope on the horizon. As we navigate through these challenging times, it's important to stay informed and vigilant. The virus has affected every aspect of our lives, from the way we work to how we interact with loved ones. Despite the hardships, communities have shown incredible resilience and adaptability. Vaccination rates are steadily increasing, and new treatments are becoming available, offering hope that we may finally be turning a corner in the fight against this deadly virus. The rollout of vaccines has been a monumental effort, involving coordination between governments, healthcare providers, and communities. Each shot administered brings us one step closer to normalcy. Pharmaceutical companies are also working tirelessly to develop treatments that can mitigate the effects of the virus, providing additional layers of protection. However, new variants continue to emerge, posing ongoing challenges to public health officials. These variants can potentially spread more easily and evade some of the protections offered by vaccines. Scientists around the world are closely monitoring these developments, conducting research to understand how these variants behave and how we can combat them. It's a race against time to stay ahead of the virus and protect public health. The debate over mask mandates and vaccine requirements continues to divide communities, highlighting the deep political and social fault lines exposed by the pandemic. While some see these measures as essential for public safety, others view them as infringements on personal freedoms. This ongoing debate has led to protests, heated discussions, and even legal battles. It's a complex issue with no easy answers, reflecting broader societal tensions. Beyond COVID-19, there are other pressing health and safety issues facing our nation. The pandemic has, in many ways, overshadowed these issues, but they remain critical. From chronic diseases to environmental health concerns, there are numerous challenges that require our attention and action. Public health is a multifaceted field, and addressing these issues requires a comprehensive approach. The opioid epidemic continues to ravage communities across the country, claiming thousands of lives each year. This crisis has been exacerbated by the pandemic as people face increased stress and isolation. Efforts to combat opioid addiction include providing support and treatment for those affected, as well as addressing the root causes of addiction. It's a battle that requires the combined efforts of healthcare providers, policymakers, and communities. Mental health is another growing concern, with rates of depression and anxiety on the rise, particularly among young people. The pandemic has taken a toll on mental well-being, highlighting the need for accessible mental health services and support. Schools, workplaces, and communities are working to provide resources and create environments that promote mental health. It's crucial to recognize the signs of mental health issues and seek help when needed. We'll be exploring these critical health and safety issues, speaking to experts and those on the front lines to bring you the latest information and resources. Our goal is to provide you with the knowledge and tools you need to stay safe and healthy. Stay tuned as we delve into these important topics, offering insights and solutions to help navigate these challenging times. Chapter 4. The United States remains a global leader in technological innovation, with groundbreaking advancements emerging from Silicon Valley and beyond. Artificial intelligence continues to advance at a rapid pace, with new applications in fields ranging from healthcare to transportation. Self-driving cars are no longer a futuristic fantasy, with several companies now testing autonomous vehicles on public roads. The race to develop 5G and even 6G wireless networks is heating up, promising to revolutionize the way we live, work, and connect with the world. But these technological advancements also raise ethical and societal questions. What are the implications of artificial intelligence for the future of work? How do we ensure that these technologies are developed and used responsibly? And how do we bridge the digital divide, ensuring that all Americans have access to the opportunities of the digital age? We'll be exploring these questions and more as we delve into the latest technological advancements shaping our world. Chapter 5. From the streets of our cities to the halls of power, Americans are making their voices heard on a range of social and political issues. The fight for racial justice continues, with activists demanding an end to police brutality and systemic racism. The LGBTQ+ community is fighting for equality and inclusion, challenging discriminatory laws and pushing for greater acceptance. Climate change remains a top concern for many Americans who are demanding action to address this urgent threat to our planet. These social movements are shaping the national conversation and driving political change. They are a testament to the power of ordinary people to make their voices heard and demand a better future. We'll be covering these movements closely, amplifying the voices of those on the front lines and providing context and analysis to help you understand the forces shaping our society. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more updates on the latest news. Stay informed and see you next time.